down there to the south rim where they're going to take off. And so down at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, there's a ranch down there called the Phantom Ranch. And a lot of people stay there. They walk all the way down. Some of them walk all the way down and can walk all the way back out. But a lot of people go down there and they camp down there and they come back out the next day. Or they camp down there and then they go up on the north rim of this deal. So that's what these girls were going to do. They were going to hike down there, and then they were going to spend 2 nights down there, and then they were going to camp back up onto the north side. So while this is happening and everything, I was supposed to take the bus and take it into Flagstaff and have the bus serviced and everything. And then from Flagstaff, I took it back around over to the north rim and waited for them over there to the north rim and everything. So I went over to Flagstaff and they put me up over there and serviced the bus and everything. Had a good time, went out with the guys, and some of the guys that I'd worked with before when I worked out of Flagstaff. And so then the next morning I got up and I drove over to the north rim over there, and then I had to spend another night. And then here they come the next day. They came out of there. Boy, they were so dirty and filthy, and it was because all those horses and mules and stuff going up and down those deals. It was just powder, and so they're walking. It's all over everything. They were really dirty and everything. So we got them out of there, and then I took them over to Bryce Canyon from there. Drove over to Bryce, and we spent the night there, and then they had showers and everything there. Got all cleaned up and everything there. And then from Bryce we went to Zion National Park, and then they spent a night in Zion. And then we were headed back. We were headed home, and we were scheduled to spend the night in Circus in Las Vegas. So we were really going to be early. When we left there, we were going to really be early. And of course, I got along really good with the women and everything. They were really nice ladies, and all the kids liked me real well. And so we're driving along, and she says, Stan, we're going to be really early. She says, is there something out here we can see and everything? Well, Lynn and I had just joined the church just before that. So we had not been members of the church very long at the time and everything. So I see those signs out there that said St. George Temple, and so and it said Visitor Center. And I thought, hey, this is a good deal. Let's pull in there at this Visitor Center and let all these little kids see what the Mormons are like and everything, So I did. We pulled in there, and they had a really great tour. I mean, back then, this was before the town was so big and everything, and you could drive right up to the side of the temple, and they had these tour guides come out, and they would walk you through and show you all this stuff and everything. Explained how the temple was actually built on a swamp, and they had like a 15-pound cannon that they had on an A-frame, and they just constantly kept pushing this down with granite and whatever, pushing it down into the ground until they got it to where it was strong enough that it would hold the temple, that it was not in the marsh because it's in a swamp or a marsh or whatever. So we had a real good visit there. The people were really nice to them and everything, give them a lot of little literature and stuff like this and everything, And the ladies were really impressed with it because they had never, back then people didn't know a lot about the Mormons and everything, So anyway, we left there and went to Circus.
Hold on, Dad. I'm gonna check with my daughter. You keep going with that story, and then you go on and talk about how you met Mom.
Well, okay, turn it off. I gotta go.
You gotta go to the bathroom? Okay.